I don't know why this isn't national news yet, but there's a serial killer going crazy in Houston right now, and not in a good way. He already has 13 people. RIP to everyone that's passed away already, but we need to spread light and attention to this, so watch this clip.
Our Fox 26 count is now at 13 bodies found in Houston bayous this year by law enforcement and first responders. Remember, the 22 bayous are spread out for miles, so it's a lot of ground to cover, and that comes with tough investigation.
And it only gets worse because a college student that just went to TSU, Texas State University, just was found in the bayou, and they're trying to say it was self-deletion, but I don't believe it was self-deletion. We're going to get into the specific facts of that later in the video. But her name was Jade McKissick, and she was unfortunately found in the bayou like the other victims were. And like I said, they're trying to play it as a self-deletion, but it was not, because who would jump in the bayou as a form of self-deletion? That doesn't make sense. But there's a lot of questions right now, and unfortunately we have more questions than answers.
Authorities say surveillance video appears to have captured the last moments of 20-year-old University of Houston student Jade McKissick's life. She was found dead yesterday after being reported missing earlier this month. Out of respect for Jade and her family, KPRC2 News will not air the entire clip. KPRC2 News reporter Rochelle Turner returned to the scene where Jade McKissick was last seen to retrace her final moments. She's joining us now live with the latest. Rochelle?
Daniela, there's still more questions than answers. We've been at this gas station you see right here behind me all day, and people have been asking us about Jade, telling us that they've been seeing her story all over the news. But Jade was seen right here in this parking lot. These were the last moments that anyone seen her, and we saw surveillance video. I'm going to cross the street safely to show you just how this all kind of played out. We do know that this is still under investigation.
And like I said earlier, it doesn't make sense that they're gonna say, oh, she self-deleted herself, she did this, she accidentally fell in. She wasn't that drunk. She went from the bar to the gas station and she was okay. She wasn't drunk enough to just, oh, accidentally fall into the bayou. She wasn't drunk enough to go over there, because honestly, black people don't do that. We don't go to weird bayous and weird places, especially at night, and try to jump in and try to go in there. We know what's in the bayou. We know what's going on. She's going to campus. She's going back to college. She's living a nice life. Why would you want to go to the bayou? Someone is in Houston and taking advantage of people and dumping it in the bayou. That's what I personally believe. And it's crazy because Texas is so big, it's going to be hard to catch them. That's why they need more cameras in Texas. They need to make Texas like New York with all the cameras. Right now, it's just not enough cameras and not enough surveillance to really keep up with what's going on and catch this guy.
Video shows her walking towards Brays Bayou, which is right over here. And at this hour, police tell us that her death is under investigation. There's no foul play and no trauma, but it's still a lot of questions surrounding her death. We do know that she came here to that gas station. She went inside to purchase a beverage, and then she walked right over here. But we just don't know exactly how she died. We've been speaking to people all day, some of them saying something's just not adding up. Others say that there's been a lot of deaths here in Brays Bayou. So we did reach out to Houston Police for more information, but right now they tell us that it's still under investigation. This is Jade Sage McKissick. The 20-year-old University of Houston student was last seen on September the 11th around 1 o'clock in the morning, right along North McGregory Way in 3rd Ward. According to Houston Police, she had spent the evening with friends at local bars and then left by herself and also left her cell phone. From there, she walks to this gas station. The clerk showed us video of her going inside and getting a slushie. She walks out these doors and walks into the parking lot. And this picture from surveillance shows Jade circled in green in the far right corner of your screen. It's the last time she was seen, according to police. It shows her walking towards Brays Bayou. To give you some perspective, the gas station is about 100 yards away from Brays Bayou. I'm gonna actually walk and see how long it takes me to get there. That video was sped up, but it took me about 27 seconds to walk from the front entrance to the intersection of McGregor Way and Scott Street. This camera right here at the end of the gas station shows Jade walking towards the left of the bayou, and then she goes out of.
And unfortunately, the police probably are now going to do something about this, because this is the 13th, 14th person that has gone missing in the bayou in Houston, the vicinity of this city. But unfortunately, before this, they weren't taking it serious. So who knows how long this serial unaliver was able to move around and move freely and catch his victims and do whatever he wanted, because there was no attention brought to this. And that's why it's important for people like us and channels like myself, Poetic Flacco, Seti Nash, to take advantage of our position and spread light on what really matters. And that's what the community needs. Not all the focus and attention on these rappers and these ball players that don't care about us. We need to spread attention on the community to get light spread on issues that really matter. But the reason that people are saying that she self-deleted is because she posted cryptic messages on social media before her passing. So people are trying to play that and say, oh, she was thinking about doing this just for her way of freeing herself, or just her way of getting herself out of her situation. But I don't believe that, because like I said earlier, who's gonna jump in the bayou as a form of getting themselves out of that? No one's gonna do that. That doesn't make any sense. But it's also a different question that you gotta ask yourself as well. Who is her friends? Who's around her that allowed her to do this?
Sometimes I see myself failing in the future and it worries me, but people always tell me I have nothing to worry about. She went on to say, I'm always giving solid, sound advice to people, and y'all still don't listen. My grandma told me I'm wise beyond my years, and if you know Black grandmas, this is a high honor. Then y'all want to come crying to me when stuff comes falling to your knees. I literally have no pity. She made another confession, and she said, listen up. Y'all gonna hate me for this one, but I peeped everything. Game recognizes game. If you think you got one over on me, think smarter. She also said, whenever I go home, I usually go in my room in the dark and cry. I don't cry often, and I never have a long time until I go back home. You can imagine how stuff accumulates. And then she said, I wish I could go back and tell myself something at every age. Knowing what I know now, I could have saved myself from a lot of stupid decisions. And Jade's confession number 7 was, I usually hate people, but I can't live without my mom, dad, or grandma. If they gone, just take me out. I promise you I won't care. Now, Jade's family and friends have come forward to say that they do not believe that there was no foul play involved in her death, because she was a happy 20-year-old girl and she had a very promising future. She went out with friends and they planned on going to different bars. From there, Jade ends up leaving the bar to go to the gas station to get a drink, which her family doesn't understand. Because if she was at a bar where there were drinks available, why would Jade leave the bar where she was at with friends and leave her cell phone?
And I don't believe this narrative that they're trying to spin. I believe they're trying to spirit this narrative because they don't want to really do the cop work and the detective work to look into what's going on. Then it's going to open up a new can of worms, and it's going to show that there's a lot of police negligence that goes on with these cases, and that goes on with a lot of cases. It's just in the United States in general, in the world. Cops not want to do their jobs. They don't want to bring up too much pressure, too much heat on their captain. It might be too many murders, or they might be trying to meet a quota. They don't want to go over this certain quota. It's different things that are going on within these precincts, within these police stations. So we got to understand that there is a lot of negligence in the police stations of America. But that doesn't excuse you from not doing your damn job and understanding that she didn't delete herself, and we need to find out who's really doing this before they strike again. But like I said earlier, where were her friends? Where are your friends that are gonna let you walk by yourself as a girl? I don't even care if you're a guy, anyone, as a person, to walk from the bar to the gas station by yourself in Texas and then walk back. That doesn't make any sense. You came together and you left separate. That doesn't ever play to the real one card. That doesn't ever play into the real end card. You know why? Because that's not valid. How are you gonna leave someone that you came with, so now if something happens to them, you're the first one they're gonna blame. You're the first one people are looking at. You're the first one that's like, damn, why didn't he stay with him? Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? And you don't have any answer for him. That's the worst part about it. Now you're just stuck looking dumb, and you gotta live with that for the rest of your life. And apparently her family thinks the same thing, because they've already taken to social media and started voicing their opinions about everything. One post said, sadly, my cousin was apparently murdered. May she rest in peace. Her parents are distraught, of course, not just because she was their only child. Jade was a rare gem indeed. She was an outstanding student at the University of Houston, where her father taught. She was loved. Now, I apologize for spreading misinformation at the beginning of this video. I was told that she went to TSU, but she indeed goes to University of Houston, which is even a bigger deal because that's a bigger college. So I'm not saying it wouldn't matter less if she was at this other college, but the bigger the college, the bigger the outrage should be, in my opinion. That's how I look at things. You know, it should be an outrage regardless, but that's how the media works. If someone dies at Park Atlanta, they're not going to spread as much attention on it as someone died at UCLA. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I perceive the media to act, and the fact that they're not even picking this up for the University of Houston is ridiculous. The next post says, "I'm so hurt, my pretty girl. You did nothing to deserve this. I promise this is wrong, and you did nothing to nobody. Why did they let you leave by yourself and without your phone? Oh my God, I've been high off my ass the past couple of days from keeping me from crying because this hurts so bad. This feels so wrong. They put your body by the bayou like you're nothing. The whole time you are so much more. I can't stomach the pain you were feeling, worry, anxiety, high with no phone or nobody to hear or help you. You really effed my head up with this one. I ain't lying." And that's definitely another factor we gotta take into account. She did not have her phone with her, so I believe her friends might have set her up. I believe there might be some backdoor activity going on because you let your friends let you walk off to the bar by yourself, and then they didn't make sure your phone was with you, and they knew you were drunk or a little tipsy at least. Nah, it's not making any sense. Someone backdoored her. Then the last post says, "Yes, some suspect of the serial killer may have taken my cousin Jade McKissick's life. We truly don't know. There is some odd circumstance surrounding her death with regard to people who are supposed to be her friends. Help find Jade's murder by reporting to the Houston PD." I feel like it's her friends too. And I don't want to go around pointing a finger and waving my finger saying it's you, it's got to be you, it's got to be you. But there's this, it's not really making a lot of sense right now why her friends would not be by her side and her phone wasn't with her. But apparently this isn't the first time that this specific area has been a hazard for college students going to University of Houston and Texas State University, because people have already come out with clips speaking about it, saying there's been supposed to be more police activity in this area, more cameras in this area, because it's always been sketchy.
The thing that's really fucking me up about this Sage situation, rest in peace to that young soul, the nightmare realization of how routine that route is for a college student that goes to UH or TSU. You know how many of us back in the day, even though I just graduated, would go to LA Burger and Daiquiris on a weeknight, bro? That is common. To think that that common route led to a young woman in a river, bro. Like, this shit is not normal. In the USCSU area, do you know how many potentially oppressive people are around here, bro? Between the weirdos, the potential criminals, and the homeless people, you don't know who is who. This area is just really...
And hopefully Jade McKissick gets the justice she deserves, because this is unfortunate and should not happen to anybody. But as always, we're going to keep you updated with the progress of this murder and if anyone is caught, any new information that's coming out. So hopefully we catch the serial killer or her friends are brought to justice for backdooring her. Either way, I will pray for her family, and I'll catch you on the next video.